And welcome back. We continue our conversation with Dr. Manar Alshahrouri. Doctor, I want to read you something just came out today. And in the interest of transparency, we're taping this program, even though we're watching it on Sunday morning. We're taping it on Wednesday. And here's an article which came out today. The CEO of Juul Labs has stepped down, and the e-cigarette company has suspended advertising as it remains embroiled in a crisis over its vaping products. Kevin Burns, he's the CEO, apologized to the nation's teen for the nation's teen vaping epidemic. He resigned effective immediately. And what's more, Juul announced it will suspend all of its broadcast, print, and digital ads in the U.S., and Juul committed to refrain from lobbying the Trump administration on new vaping laws under consideration, saying it will, quote, fully support and comply with the final policy when effective. Is this a first crack in the vaping industry?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I'm sure this pleases me. I actually read about this as I was coming in today. It is very important that this continues. I think in the meantime, it is very important for local communities to protect their children, as you are doing right now. You know, this is something that affects our children. But yes, I'm hoping that it would be. You know, again, I say this again, the FDA has not approved any of these devices, these ends, to be an aid to quitting smoking. So the presumption of what they're used for is not FDA approved. And so the issue becomes, why? Why are we selling them? Why are they there? You know, go through the regulatory process. I'm not saying that they should necessarily be banned, but I most certainly think they should be regulated. And I most certainly believe they shouldn't be accessible to children.
And so parents and everyone, even adults, should know, as you just said, this is not a way to get you off of those cigarettes that are costing $6, $7, $8 a pack.
Absolutely not. There are FDA-approved treatments out there. You know, I encourage anybody who's using those to quit smoking to reach out to their physicians. There is actually an 800 number they can call, and that would provide them with local resources. Those are very well proven. They're not 100%, but they're the best what's out there at this point in time. Most certainly has a lot more evidence to support their use than vaping does.
The healthcare industry, as you well know, you've always been on the cutting edge of these issues. You're always out there as far as letting the public know about the dangers of this. But all of a sudden, and I mean, you've been dealing with this for 10 years or so, but now it just seems to have exploded in the mass media. Are you in the medical profession prepared to get this word out? Or has it just taken you by storm, taken you by surprise?
You know, that's a good question. I can tell you that the American Thoracic Society and others have issued statements regarding vaping way before these very unfortunate deaths and these illnesses occurred. So there was a very initial, very profound skepticism about the role of these and what they're supposed to do. So there was a statement out there more than a year ago from the ATS. So none of this surprised us, frankly. But I think what probably really got our notice and frankly maybe surprised us is the severity of this illness and the rapidity of what it struck. The fact that there are nine deaths from something like that. I don't think we've expected that at the very beginning of this. We were looking more to see, are we going to be looking at long-term effects, health effects, like parallel to cigarettes? And that's what being looked at, that's what being studied. What has happened here is profound. And we actually have very robust descriptions of this disease illnesses. You know, be it on imaging studies, X-rays, etc.,
right,
or even pathology specimens, actual specimens from those lungs. And all of these point towards what looks like an inhalation-related injury to the lung. So the severity and the number certainly was surprising to us. Nobody at the time anticipated this was going to happen, and now we see it.
E-cigarettes have been around for a long time. Why all of a sudden are people dying from these things?
That is the subject of the study by the CDC. There's some data out there. It's inconclusive and it's not entirely clear. There are issues that have implicated I'm sure you've heard about it in the news about vitamin E being a culprit, be it the chemicals, etc. We just simply don't know enough at this point in time to kind of point the finger at one thing. All we can say with great certainty is that these deaths and these illnesses are directly related to vaping. That was the common denominator, the number one. And number two, the fact that the imaging and the biopsy, etc. results are very consistent with what we know to be what we call inhalation lung injuries.
I've got about a minute, Doctor. What should parents be, number one, looking for, and what should they be telling their children?
Well, for one thing, I really should hope that they be know if their children are vaping or not. You know, we should show a lot of interest in our children, be involved in their lives, spend time with them, understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. Also understand the pressures and the peer pressures around them. I think it drive a lot of this. I think a lot of the smoking, alcohol drinking, vaping is all part and parcel of basically coming of age.
Dr. Manar Alshahrouri, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for the
Very
opportunity.
informative, and it's a tough topic these days. If you have a newsmaker in your town you think we should have on this program, let us know about it. Send us an email at tips@wearegreenbay.com, or you can message us on Facebook. And be sure to join us once again Sunday morning at 7:30. Until then, have a great day.